Well, thank you so much, Deborah. That was so wonderful, and it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you. Really a pleasure when you consider those votes. The three of us watched that roll call, and we raced over here. Being last, I got a chance to get back seat and get glamour, a little bit more glamorous than they were. Timing is everything. But you know, it is so humbling to be honored with people like Rosa DeLauro and Tammy Duckworth. I mean, heroes, sheroes in their own rights. And it's such a joy to receive this recognition from the National Partnership for Women and Families, this august organization that's been leading the charge for fair and family-friendly workplaces, quality and affordable women's health care for more than 40 years. You know, these are some interesting days in the House of Representatives. Yep, we have a leadership that's really out of touch with, well, most of the country. They don't understand the middle class. They don't understand families struggling to stay out of poverty, families that rely on public assistance, women, people of color, seniors. They don't understand anybody except for the Tea Party. I don't think they understand much of what's going on for most of the country. It's just like a huge theater. They don't know what it's like to fear that you will actually lose their job. You know, they indict women who don't work. They call them welfare queens, and there's all kind of public policy demanding that you work before you can get food stamps, demanding that that you work else your children can't eat. But they don't know what it's like to support a family when you're paid minimum wage and what it's like to be unable to pay the rent or feed your kids. They have never had to decide whether to send a sick kid to school and when the school won't take them and risk losing your job. They don't understand what it's like to be without health care you need or that your children need. And they don't understand our struggles, and they're still able to vote repeatedly to repeal the Affordable Care Act and take away women's access to contraception and abortion services. They don't understand, they can't understand, they won't understand what our lives are like, and they still refuse to support fair pay or paid sick days. They couldn't understand poverty, and they vote to gut Medicare, Medicaid, and food and nutrition programs. But we understand. These women that you're honoring today understand. And they understand not because they've read a textbook on it, but because they have lived that. And we're here to share our experiences and to use our outside voices with the House leadership. We're going to tell them what it's like to be poor and unable to find decent child care or fear to losing your public assistance lifeline. We'll tell them what it's like to survive abuse and assault at the hands of an intimate partner or a stranger. We'll tell them what it's like to watch our daughters as they face uncertainty about pregnancy and the ability to prevent it, complications, and worrying unceasingly about their health care. You know, I'm going to share some experiences that I have had. And I mean, it was really difficult because this is just a luncheon. I mean, this is not a 3-day workshop. It's hard to choose one or two or three experiences. But I think it's really important to talk to you about this notion now that we see that 40% of all women are working and are indeed the primary breadwinners. What it takes to leave your home in the morning and to provide decent and safe daycare for your children. You know, I once remember a time when my oldest child, a teenage daughter, was charged with dropping off her 2 preschool brothers at a private home at the corner of our block for daycare, with a woman who had at least 12 other children in her care. You can just call her the old lady in the shoe if you want. This elderly woman maintained order and control by hitting them with a switch, a tree branch, if they moved from their spot in front of the TV. Well, when one of my sons wet his pants for fear of moving, he got a full-blown beating with this switch. And my daughter shared this story with me and refused to take her brothers back to this affordable, informal caretaker. So, qualifying for Title 20 child care, I was able to place my sons in a safe daycare setting. But after 2 months in the daycare center, I was due to come off of probation from my $17,000 a year job. And because it was like October or November, the 50 cents an hour increase that I was to receive, I would have hit a marginal tax rate. I was making $17,000 a year with 3 kids. And I would suddenly become ineligible for daycare. You know, this is one of the most pernicious, daunting economic crises that women face. You know, because good, decent daycare, I mean, the bargain daycare for 1 child is about $1,500 a month. Good daycare. And never mind that women earn less than men do. I know Rosa DeLauro could talk about that all day. Never mind getting into the weeds on that. But even if we earned even a little bit closer to what men earn, safe daycare is out of our reach. Now, our children face a much greater danger than the old lady in the shoe who beat the kids because they didn't know what to do. Children left alone become prey to Chester the molester, and I know personally. They become victims of house fires and carbon monoxide poisoning and drowning as they attempt to care for themselves. Exposure to firearms, inappropriate sexual contact, and plain old neglect, not getting help with their homework because mom is at work. I've borne witness to all of this. And yes, I have mourned with a mom and sat with a mom in court as she was sentenced to go to jail after leaving her infant in a blazing hot car, going out to check on him periodically because she had no time off and had been warned that she couldn't miss any work. And when she had no daycare, brought him to work and left him in her car, and he died in the blazing car. This was not a lazy welfare mom. These are the issues that women face in trying to be workers. And because the leaders in the House need to hear from all of us every single day until they figure out that the country needs them to support better health care, women's reproductive rights, family-friendly workplaces, and measures to help people in poverty and the middle class. In other words, they need to keep hearing from all of us until they get it right. Thank you so much for this honor. Thank you for hanging out, waiting on us.